Alright, that should be better. Mic check, mic check. Good to go. Yep. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah. What's up? Just woke up. Killer, what up? Yeah, I restarted the gaming PC the other day, so I kind of figured there might be an issue there, but I never know until I go live, and then I just have to change the the recording kind of input there. But no problem, man. Good to have you back. It was good. It was good. Yeah, no, it was good. Man, whew, it's been 3 long days. That's for sure. Um, I got a bunch of stuff to cover in the intro. I wrote a one, two, three, 4, 5 page speech. But they're big letters, so it won't take very long. But anyway, there's a bunch to cover. What's going on, Dragon? How's it going? How's it going? Happy holidays to you as well, B&M. What is up? What is up? Welcome everybody. Um, I hope everyone had a good holiday. I hope that everyone was safe and you got lots of food in your system. Um, Food was like crappy everywhere, unfortunately. Um, the Hispanic meals during the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas are usually pretty bad. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on your taste, but they do carne de puerco for all of those, and it's not traditional they're not traditional meals, and I really don't like pork. I hate pork, so um, what a BG. So barely. Um, so anyway, whatever. But so the meals were kind of crappy, but that's fine. Like basically on Christmas Eve, I just they had their pork, and then it was funny. My wife is like, they have a honey baked ham. I was like, that's pig too. it's it's going well. It's going well, Dragon. It is going well. Good to have you. Good to have you. Um, Poor barley. Um, so yeah, but otherwise it was good. I got to spend a lot of time with the family. I got to chill pretty hard with my wife, which was nice. Um, Dude, I watched a ton of movies. I watched all the Transformers, which I hadn't seen all of them. I only seen the first and the second one, I think. Yeah. So I saw the third and the fourth, and there's a fifth one coming out. I don't know when, sometime in 2017. So I saw all of them. I'm current on the series. I got to see Guardians of the Galaxy, which I had never seen, which is really good. I really recommend that one. That's a fun movie. Um, and that one, part two's coming out in March, so that was cool. I got to see Jack Reacher, which apparently there's a part two, but part two looks like it's like really far fetched. But I didn't get to see part two on that one. We got to see the BFGs, which I was a little underwhelmed with. I didn't think the BFGs was that good actually. I really didn't. I'm trying to think what else I got to see. Hmm. I don't remember the other movies, but I know we saw Cuño! Derek, what up? You Mexican food for the holidays, tamales, frijoles, de puerco. No, man. Well, they did have carne de puerco, uh, but it's Cuban food out here, man. I have seen John Wick. That's a great movie, and there's gonna be a part two coming out soon, B&M. So I'm looking forward to that one. That's a great movie. So yeah, so I got to see a lot of movies. I mainly saw them by myself because everybody was asleep, other than BFGs, and I did watch the Transformers series with my kids. Um, so yeah, just kind of like vegged out and hung out with the family. Spent a lot of time reflecting, which is part of what the intro is about tonight. Kind of like the deep, dark inner thoughts of my mind and my heart too. So Um, anyway, I hope everybody did well. I pretty much disconnected from Twitch. I didn't log in. Um, I didn't log in. I didn't with the exception of there's a guy that used to stream Paragon that view bots, and we kind of scared him away a long time ago. And so I saw he was on, so I went to go check on him to see how badly he was view botting. But other than that, I didn't tune in at all. I wanted to kind of just like a clean break. So, kind of leads me into tonight's intro. So, like I said, I wrote this all out. I mean, obviously, it's all in my head because I wrote it all out. But I will be kind of like looking down at my notes here. So I wanted to discuss a few things. Early last week, Taco and I were kind of whispering back and forth on Twitch, and so he had suggested that I do like a video blog, kind of chronicling the journey of like a fledgling streamer, and I thought it was a really good idea. I thought it was a way to kind of connect and be helpful because I know that there's a lot of people on the channel that have aspirations to be streamers, and when I'm live, I do talk a little bit about it at times, kind of the challenges, but it really doesn't do it justice because we're playing games and we're having a good time, and that's not like what people want to hear about. So I thought this, it was a great idea on his part, but I thought it would be nice because this will be something where you could like really get behind the scenes. You can really learn from the trials and tribulations of a streamer. My perspective is going to be different, just like all the thoughts that go through my mind. Um, um, oh, followers, yeah, yeah. The channel's grown a lot, a lot. So it's kind of like my perspective is an older person, with a family, a full time job, married, etc. So like the things I'm going through is different than like say like a mud or not they're not unique because I think all streamers kind of have like their thing that they go through, like the uphill battle. But there is going to be certain things that are going to be different. They'll vary from one person to the other. And so I thought this would be a great idea. And so I kind of was laying in bed. I didn't want to watch any more movies. What up, Kador Eric? How's it going? So I was kind of just laying in bed, and I was sitting there, and I was, thinking about this, and like how to go about doing this video blog, and I started to reflect. And so tonight's intro is kind of going to be like will be the slash catalyst to that video blog. But more importantly, and why I wanted to like make an announcement and all that stuff, and like reach out to everybody during the intro tonight, was that while I was sitting there thinking about like, oh, what would the content be for this and whatnot, I started to kind of reflect on how this all started, um, how it progressed, where we are now, what the cost has been, not just financially, but like emotionally, as well as like familial, and then also the like incredible gains that have come, along with it. Like I think like I've actually made friends here. I've spent so much time with you all. So I started to kind of go over that, and I started to think about like my number one priority in my life is my family. It has to be, right. And more so because of the type of person that I am. So I started to kind of like break that down because I started to like I was laying there, and I was just happy. Like I was happy, being there. And I was really happy these last 3 days. And it's not that I haven't been happy prior to that, just because I have been. I think like I've had a lot of fun here. This is definitely like a different venture for me. I'm usually very private, and then now I'm like broadcasting all this shit, and I'm talking about my stuff and putting myself on blast and whatever. So this has been kind of different for me. Um, But so I started to reflect back on all of those phases of the channel, where we've come now. Just woke up with saying the last time he was here, I had 800 followers. We're almost at 3,000 now. When he was here, we were averaging 20 to 25 viewers a night. Now we're averaging, somewhere between 65 and 75 a night. So, it's been a big jump. Um, but along the way, there's been cost to that. So, for me, the way that I kind of like tier out my life is, family is like everything, right? Like that's like my son, and everything else just revolves around that. And so then like outside of that, and these are all things that relate back to them, is health, time, and my finances, right? And so when I started to break that all down, I thought about um, I was thinking there need to be some changes. There need to be some changes to the way that I'm doing this, because I'm just going too hard. There's too much that I'm giving up. Um, and so for the majority of my life, like majority of my life's been based around needs, because wants have not been plentiful. And that isn't to say that I don't have nice things, because I do. I definitely, like I'm not impoverished or whatever, for sure. Um, but I've always had to kind of like fight for like the things that I have, and like despite tremendous effort, like there's never been like that, like that major moment, which is kind of how I got into streaming, because I thought Twitch streaming was a way for me to like say F you to like the many misfortunes that I've had. So, and we've talked about that before, kind of the ups and downs of life, at the stage where I'm at. And so I thought that streaming was like, and Twitch streaming, if I could be successful here, would be like nothing could get in my way, nothing could stop me. It was just the viewer and myself, and I was kind of doubling down on myself. And I thought it was a way to circumvent a slew of events that needed to be micromanaged just for a chance. Um, and what I found over this weekend was that like I was missing spending time with my family. I was missing going to the gym, and I was tired of being tired when my kids wanted to play with me. And so we've tweaked things here in the schedule and whatnot to try to get to a point um, where like that wouldn't be an issue. And unfortunately, it hasn't come to fruition, right? So so I was okay with postponing those things up until we got to the anniversary, which was like the 1 year mark of streaming, which was supposed to be or is June 27th. And so for a long time I said like, oh, I'm gonna grind this thing until June 27th. But what I found over the weekend was like, fuck, I really miss doing these things with my family. I miss, feeling healthy, and not being tired. And so I was like, you know, maybe I need to just stop, right? Maybe I need to stop streaming, because like I want these things. And so and I've typically been the type of person that I just put my head down and I bust my ass. Like I've always been like a quote unquote worker. Like I bust my ass and I just force my will, right? Um, but for a moment there, I was laying down and I was thinking, like, what would it mean if tomorrow I died? Like for my kids, like what did I give up? And so like for me, that was like, oh shit, like I'm sacrificing my family, and I didn't want to be in that position. And then like I was sitting, I'm laying there and I'm thinking about all this stuff, and then I thought like, but what about like all the great people on the channel, like the times that the time that we've spent together, the people that I've met, the people that I've gotten to play with, the time that we've spent, I spent with you and you spent with me, um, and the fact that like I've been able to share some of my best friends with you guys, um, Suspense and Beast KO and BJ and Scuba and Be Like Mike, Suicidal, Kaiser. These are all people that these are all people that like I've been playing with for 15 plus years, and they're awesome. Um, so like I've been able to share those people with you. You guys have been able to meet them and get along with them. And so anyway, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I basically got out of bed. I came over, I sat down right here, I took out this notepad, okay, and I started writing all this shit, like, you know, like coming up with a plan. And so I think I've come up with a good setup, like to bring balance to the situation. Um, no, no, that's not what I'm saying. Anomaly. That's not what I'm saying. It, you know, like I'm saying, the thought did cross my mind. Um, you know, like streaming should be great, and it is, right? Like that's important. Um, you know, the issue for me is that I work so much, and I have to work. You know, I have to work as hard as I do, and so the schedule is taxing on me. And like in so previously, whenever I've had these thoughts, I've fought it back, you know, because I knew that it meant that I'd be nerfing the channel, I'd be nerfing the progress, and the progress that we've had has been so fucking incredible here. You know, like the gains. You know, like somebody came in last week and they're like, "Wait, you just started streaming June 27th?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "And you're this popular already?" So the gains that we've gotten here have been incredible, and so I've not wanted to take my foot off the pedal, right? Because I'm just like, fuck it, we're going 100 miles an hour till we crash into the wall, right? Um, and so I guess what I was saying, what I'm saying is, I sat there and I thought about like what it means to crash into the wall, right? And like who gets hurt if I crash into the wall. And so we just need to bring balance into the situation. So, um, you know, so you know, in an ideal world, we would have made it to the goal that we have set, which is triple digit viewers. Um, you know, because like for me, then that puts us in a path, you know, towards viability. Um, and so, and I understand that some of these things that I'm going to talk about right now are going to nerf the channel a little bit. We're probably going to lose some people. And I get that. But like like I had said to myself, you know, some of those people just aren't part of the tried and true, you know. So, um, so what does it mean? Okay, so number one, there's gonna be an adjustment to the schedule, so sleep is less of an issue. Number two, single player games are gonna be brought back into the fold. Days off are going to still be limited to Fridays, at least until the 27th. So those are the three things, right? So you know, there's not a lot of detail there, but I did take some time and kind of detail those out. So like, why the changes? You know, that was one thing. Why are they important, and why is it important that I share them with you? And like, pretty much it boils down to just respect, right? So I have respect for you guys. I respect the time and effort that you've put in to the channel, and so I want to make sure that I show you the courtesy to tell you what I'm thinking, what I'm, you know, moving towards, and you know, hopefully you guys will be okay with that. And then if not, I understand, you know. So at the end of the day, it's just respect. So number one, adjusting the schedule slightly, which this is basically 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. Okay, we talked about this and we said that I was gonna get a little more like less liberal with that 2 a.m. start time. So I think like I need to become like hardcore on that 2 a.m. stop time. It basically just means sleep will be less of an issue. It means like right now, Sleep Cycle says that I'm averaging about 3.5 hours of sleep a night. This move will put me in a trajectory to average 6 hours of sleep a night, almost double the sleep what I've been getting now. Okay, so that has been my schedule. But what it means is that, like, for example, if it's 1:30 in the morning or it's 1:45, rather than starting another game, I might throw down like a single player game or like a quick little game just to bullshit and talk to you guys. Or maybe I'll just get off, you know? Like, it just depends. Like, if there's something to do, we'll do it. But I won't start a game of Paragon, which could run me an hour into 2:45, let's say. So, so there's a push there, and you know, it's I also thought a possible adjustment to the intro to kind of give that time back to you guys, right? So like, for example, if I know that, you know, we might, you know, like we might get off at 2:45, or I'm sorry, 1:45, then maybe we push the intro down and make a shorter intro. Normally I like to leave the intro, I like the intro where it's at, because we don't have enough people. We don't have enough people when I go live, and a lot of times we talk about things. We talk about our day, we talk about like what the patch notes are, what the focus of the evening is. We get into those things, and then people come in late and they're like, oh, I missed whatever, blah blah blah. But maybe if we shorten down the intro time, then that we get that time, you get that time back on the front end, basically. So that's what I was brainstorming. Number two, single player games are going to be reintroduced strategically throughout the month. I think initially we'd start with like every other week, something like that, or 2 days a month on the weekends. Primarily because like sometimes I need a reset, Like, dude, it's hard to suck at Paragon, Like it's fucking trying on me. So, and I like to play games, That's the other thing. I want to play games, and there's a lot of games that I like. And so, whenever we need like a fresh break or whatever, to kind of maybe change gears, then we'll throw down some single player. I think the other thing is that Monolith is so fast paced. There's like the map is condensed, and so the action is happening faster. It's harder to interact with chat. Everyone always compliments me on how interactive I am with everyone, but on Monolith that's difficult, and I think single player games would open that up. It would be a different type of dialogue. We could talk about different things, and so I'd be able to respond faster. And I think it'll lend itself to some other types of moments. So we are going to be bringing single player back in to the fray. Now I think this is going to hurt the channel. Like this, out of everything, I think is where we're going to get hurt the most. I think we're definitely going to lose viewership. I think we're going to lose some followers on this. But I was kind of laying there, and I literally just wrote here. I said, however, as I sat there reflecting, I said, screw it. So, I just think, games are supposed to be fun, and I've kind of been denying myself playing other games, and I think we could have some fun. So that's number two. Number three. My days off are going to continue to be Fridays, at least until June 27th. So like that's been the way of the walk here. However, I'm going to be more liberal when on the weekends. If there's something for us to do, I'm not going to be as much of a pain in the ass to my wife, where I'm like, no, we got to get home. The kids have to be in sleep right now. So like wild card weekends are going to go back to being more towards wild card, so like if we're out and we're doing something, I'll tweet it out. If you're not already following on Twitter, and after I finish this talk you don't unfollow and stop watching, then please follow me on Twitter, so that way at least you get that, like, you find out what's going on, because I'm gonna stay on that hard. But essentially, Fridays will be my only day off, so not that much of a change. I'm still gonna be super consistent on that. I think I've proven that over this 6 to 7 months now. But at the same time, I am saying, like, there are going to be days where I'm going to tweet out and say, hey, I'm not streaming this Saturday or whatever, because we have plans. So all these changes, everything 1, 2, and 3, they're all going to be pre-planned. Okay, so and they're going to be integrated into the schedule, so there won't be surprises. Like, it's not going to be like you get on Saturday and you're like, oh shit, he's not playing Paragon, he's playing this. No, I'm going to pre-plan this. I'm going to pre-schedule it. Everyone will know well in advance what the deal is, okay? So that's that. Now, finally, and most importantly, because the intro tonight was about an announcement and about a viewer commemoration. So, finally and most importantly, I'd like to thank all of you and Epic, because without Paragon, we may not have crossed paths. We may not have met. And I think that it's really important, because without you all, we wouldn't be here. The shift to Paragon was a very strategic one, and it paid off. It's paid off really well. But I also understand that when I made that pivot, I lost some people along the way. And so, if the Paragon community would not have been so welcoming and so incredible, it would have been all for naught. So thank you, because we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. Like, this would have been an easy decision for me. Anyway, so and as I sat there last night and I was thinking about this, like the Paragon and this community has given a lot to several other streamers. Um, and I think that's great. And all of those guys and girls, for the most part, they're much better at the game than I am, and they've reached partnership. So for them, they're on a path to proving that Twitch is a viable platform for them. However, unfortunately, I have some shortcomings. I've not been able to get to a point in this game where I can be platinum or whatever the case is. But I feel like what we've achieved here is different than what some people have achieved on other channels, which is like a friendship. And so the support here, like you guys have really shown that you care about the broadcaster. And I've tried to give back wherever I can as well, and I feel like there's been like a really strong bond that's been created. So they've achieved success in their own way, and I feel like I've achieved success in my own way here. But either way, the Paragon community and Epic really have made this possible. So, so I thought it was important to say that. As a result, I wanted to actually spend some time and make a tribute to your unwavering support. I want to start by thanking. Give me a second here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start by thanking all of the members of TOU that helped me get this thing started. In the beginning, a lot of people were kind of laughed at what I was saying I was going to do. But these guys showed up every single night. They gave me, 6 to 9 views a night, and pushed it. So I want to start off by saying thank you to those guys, for hanging with me even when I suck, because they don't always do that for everybody. So I did want to say thank you to them. Anyway, no, I'm not going to cry. And then I also want to say, thank you to all the subs that have helped to support the channel. Helped to get the equipment to set all this up. A lot of it kind of like on blind faith, right? Because like, what the fuck, what if I wouldn't have got the chair? What if I wouldn't have upgraded the lighting? What if I wouldn't have upgraded the green screen, the camera, etc.? And I just was like pocketing shit. And no, instead I put it right back in. What if I wasn't reinvesting into the giveaways and whatnot? So I wanted to say thank you to you all as well. So I individually am gonna do that now. So I do want to thank Jano, which is no longer a sub, but was an incredible supporter when I was on Counter-Strike. I miss that guy dearly. He was awesome. He really was. But he was an early supporter, one of my very, very first subs, a really great guy, and helped me and gave me ideas. So I do want to thank Jano. I want to thank Suicidal for his support, not just for being a sub, but also, for being a homeboy, telling me whenever my notifications go out, which actually, by the way, they did go out. So to BJ for helping out, like being a part-time mod on the channel, being a sub to the channel, I appreciate that a lot. Suspense for trolling me as hard as he does. I'm just kidding. Suspense for all the years of playing with me. And within TOU, there were times where there was a lot of internal turmoil, and Suspense always stuck by my side, even when some of these people were very good friends of his. He still would stand by my side. So that means a lot. And then, Rez has been an incredible supporter, super high elo player, really high IQ, in life, but I think a high IQ for the game. And he's been patient and kind of hung in there. And when I've been frustrated with the game and he's just been watching, he kind of talks me down off the ledge, and gives me advice. So I want to thank him. Beast KO, which was a sub at one point, but it more importantly is somebody that I've been playing with for, I guess now we're moving on over 15 years. Just a super cool cat, always stuck around. And even though there were times in there where we may have lost communication, when I got into PC gaming, I called him up. I think I sent him a text message, and then I got him on the phone, and it was like, I don't know, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was setting up some of my PC stuff, and it was like we hadn't skipped a beat. It was like, we hadn't like not talked in a while, and yeah, just a good guy. Be like Mike, one of my very best friends in the world, probably one of the most intelligent people that I know. Taking, you're talking about somebody that like charges, crazy hourly rates for his creative mind, and he has helped me with the Paragon stream in particular. The overlays and whatnot, taking his own time and sent me like little surprises and whatnot. So somebody that I know, he appreciates me and I appreciate him. Um, I want to thank the Killer for spending over 200 hours in here with us, which I think is insane. And he did take a little break, but he's here tonight, which is cool. I also want to thank Clumsy Wumsy, another sub. Thank you very much, Clumsy. Been a really good guy and somebody that I can throw a host to at night, and and he does a great job, takes care of everybody. Trekkie, somebody that's had incredible patience with me, very supportive. He whispers me all the time and tells me like, "Yo, keep your head up, bro. Don't worry about it. You're doing a great job. Keep it up, etc." Um, Dragon, Dragon is a mod for Mud, and Mud and Dragon have supported the channel. They've done a great job. They've really helped me out a lot. Zad, which we haven't seen in a while, but he's abroad. He serves in the U.S. military, but he's been a really nice guy. He's offered some assistance on the side as well. Really, really great guy. Tater, Tater has been fun. She brings a light mood to the channel. It's nothing like the presence of a female to calm some of these guys down at times. And so Tater's been great. And she always compliments me on my beard, which I appreciate. Thrasher, which is dynamic and just somebody that we played with on Counter Strike, was a good friend of Roddy's, which I've spoken about in the past, which for me was like the catalyst on Counter Strike. It's where I really learned how to play the game. Maybe not at a super high level, but he did teach me how to play the game, and I learned pretty much everything about Counter Strike from him. And so Thrasher was good friends with him. We got to run with him, and somehow he saw me streaming or whatever the case was, and he's become a longtime supporter. He's a sub to the channel, so I do appreciate that dynamic. Thank you very much. Velter is one of my very, very early viewers as well. Somebody that would check in from time to time. Not super active on the channel, but has given us 158 hours, guys. 158 hours. I'm actually going to backtrack because Trekkie has given 343 hours. Tater, 340 hours. Thrasher, 480 hours. These are people that, like, yo, they're here all the time with me, like, in the trenches. This is why I was saying, like, I can't, like, I've got to forge ahead. Burnout, very, very good supporter. Oh crap, of course this thing just bumped the whole thing, didn't it? 442 hours. And you're talking about somebody that, like, is constantly making jokes in chat. He keeps the mood light. Sometimes he could be a little controversial with his jokes, though. But it's good. It's good to have people like that. And, he's just a good guy. Little Crow, 161 hours. When I first started the game, he was, like, head above shoulders, beyond where I was with the game. But, he kind of, like, lent a hand and tried to teach me. He sent me, like, videos and linked me to other people where I could learn. And then he had to go away. He's in the army, and he had to go away for training. Went away, said he'd come back, and when he came back, he did. And not just that, he subbed to the channel. Ubi has given 20 hours. Not a lot of viewership, but he is a sub to the channel. We haven't seen him in a while, but I still want to say thank you to Ubi. Eric, 315 hours. But aside from the 315 hours, you're talking about just a genuinely nice guy, a sub to the channel, but somebody that has literally spent hours with me on Discord, at least on one occasion, going over decks, showing me. And when Monolith came out, he's the one that gave me those starter decks to be able to start playing. So thank you. And he actually is part of the reason why I got to meet Ash, which in my opinion is one of the nicest people that I've ever met on a video game. So I'm just glad to have everybody kind of like me and whatnot. Beast KO and Suspense knew Ash as well, but actually Eric and Ash moved to the United States, not together, but they were friends in their previous residence. Moose Knuckles, 204 hours, a sub to the channel. Super chill guy, was a monster Grux player on Legacy. So much so that Paragon nerfed Grux because of him. Just a cool cat, just a cool cat. Is here, grinds with us. Even when he was saying he was going to uninstall the game, homeboy just stuck it out with us. So, and I know that this is lengthy, but like I want to thank everybody. So if people want to leave, it's cool, but this is important to me. Again, this is like a viewer commemoration. It's important. It's Evan, which is Eric's brother. Another great guy, super chill, really good at Paragon, fun to play with, craziest Sev you've ever played with, has given 207 hours of his time. Back to Reality has given 311 hours, okay? Another sub supporter, keeps it real, is up in here with us and chilling. That Cool Bruh, 198 hours. Early on was like a big financial supporter of the channel. I mean, now he's a sub, which is great. Somebody that's trying to kind of like break out on YouTube. He sings cover songs. And I've been trying to, give him some suggestions, but just a good guy in general. We made it 83.2 hours. Hedgehog, no longer a sub, but was at one point 52.1 hours. So I thank him for that. Although he's not here anymore, but I still want to say thank you. Rashido, somebody that I've actually met in person, went to have lunch with him, 353 hours. This is a person that's like got like super positive energy, and just a really, really nice guy. Really, really nice guy. Lady Foot Tickler, which is a sub, has spent 112 hours in our channel. Somebody that I think maybe misunderstood. I know there's been a lot of controversy around Lady Foot Tickler, but we've, outside of one instance in chat, we've never had a problem with him. I spoke to him about it, and we've never had an issue again. Larzo, 163.5 hours, super chill guy. Has opted out on going out, riding with his motorcycle buddies and his wife to hang with us on a sub Sunday. Just a really nice guy. Unfortunately, him and I have lost a ton of games together, and this dude is always positive. Although I think it may be starting to wear, because that last loss I think was a grind on him. But I think actually we did get to win our last game that we played together, because Dazed 420 carried the shit out of us. PB Terminator, a relatively new viewer. I do have to thank Ash and Eric for PB Terminator, because they did introduce him to the channel. So he's relatively new, but he's been here a lot with us. We've gotten games in with him, and he's actually local as well. So we'll probably be meeting for lunch sometime in the future. NPC Mook, 242 hours. Shit is crazy, dude. 242 hours. Again, we've lost a lot of games together, but we've been grinding it out, and we're learning together. He's tried to help me out with some of the stuff that like last week I was trying to experiment with builds, and he gave me advice. TOU Kaiser. So Kaiser was in TOU. I've actually met him before in person. He's come down for our TOU barbecues. 330 hours. A ton of support. Text back and forth with me. One-shotted Sneaks. We haven't seen one-shotted in a while, but he's still a long-standing sub. 68.7 hours. Cardigan, otherwise known as Fonseca, 285 hours. Had some of my early fun games. I had him with Fonseca. He was a crazy-ass Greystone, dude. Crazy-ass motherfucker. But a good guy. But, I do feel like he's kind of maybe surpassed the level of the channel, and so I haven't seen him as much as I would like. Austrian Cucumber, not a ton of support there, 21.5 hours, but he was a long-standing sub. I do believe he's canceling that sub. Gunstar, 270 hours. Great guy. Um, had some recent family issues that he's been going through, but a great guy, and so he's been absent a little bit, but he's always here, and he's one of the guys that gets in Discord and plays with whoever, which is nice because that's one of the things that I've tried to build here is to get viewers to play together. Sparks 0704, 45 and a half hours, a silver level sub, a good guy, makes it when he can, whenever he can. Alan Yates, not a sub, but he did donate to the channel in the past, and he spent about 20 hours here. He's relatively new. He comes from Little Dash's channel, which is again on the back of Ash. Ash is good friends with Little Dash, and so that kind of like intertwined all of us. So Beach House hasn't spent a ton of time with us, and actually he's canceling the sub, but I do want to thank him for at least being a sub at one point. Stealth Bomber, 348.8 hours. Stealth is actually one of my very first viewers outside of TOU members. He stuck it out with me. He's actually one of the few early viewers from Counter-Strike that stuck around. And you'd be surprised, right? Because I stopped playing Witcher when I killed the single player thing. And he really wanted me to play Witcher, so I know that I disappointed him, but he stuck it out with me, and I really, really do appreciate that. And now he's a sub, so that's awesome. Last Man Standing, 62.4 hours. He's another one that's a very early viewer. He joined this channel July 16th. Keep in mind, I started June 27th. So he started with me on Counter-Strike. He's subbed to the channel. He's hung out with me. And actually, he's helped me bust a couple people that view bot. So that's pretty cool. Spin2910 is a sub. He hasn't spent a ton of time here. But the fact that, he liked what he saw and he's helped support the channel financially means a lot. Cankle Breaker, again, one of the very, very early viewers on the channel when I moved to Paragon. He started September 5th with us. And he's been a sub almost since the beginning. Basically since I launched the intros. So I do thank him for that. And even when he hated the game, because he hated Legacy, dude. Cankle could not stand Legacy. Pank Dazzle is another early viewer from when I first started Paragon. His son was born. He spent 286.4 hours in here. And is a sub to the channel. The Real Taco Turtle has spent 216 hours. We have to thank him for the whole video blog idea on the kind of like that fledgling streamer journey that I'm going to be starting. And he's just always been super positive with me. And, he reaches out to me and kind of gives the positive vibes. Baseball Player works a lot, and he is engaged. He spent 92.7 hours, but he is a sub to the channel. I'm actually a little concerned about him because he was supposed to be in our last sub Sunday, and he had asked me if he could be among the first to play, and we had confirmed, and then I never heard back from him, and I had reached out to him, so I hope he's okay. If anybody's spoken to him, please let me know. Wolfflow spent about 29 hours with us, is also a sub. And then, what can I say about Ash Ketchup? 194 hours. Started viewing the channel October 11th. Has thrown us multiple hosts. This is somebody that, dude, I don't even know. I don't think I can ever repay the favor. Short of if we ever made it to partnership, to host him nightly, to get him to partnership. I would do that for him because the guy has been incredible. Aside from all that support, he's just a really nice fucking guy, dude. Fucking super chill. I love hanging with him. I love playing with him. Even when he's fucking tilted and he's mad because we're gonna lose, he just he sucks it up. When I'm sucking, he's he hangs hard. Shade, 97.8 hours, and a bronze level sub. Appreciate this dude a lot. C actually subbed to the channel after playing one viewer game with me. And actually, we do have to thank Trekkie, because going back to Trekkie has referred viewers to the channel. People that he plays with regularly, he's like, dude, you got to check this guy out. He's really cool. Whatever it is that he feels about the channel, he tells them, and and they've come to the channel, and some of them have stuck around, some of them haven't, but C is one of those guys. So I thank him. Zaku, 204 hours. And was an early sub as well once I started streaming Paragon. Jamal Semperfi, 85 hours. He tunes in when he can, and he's just always super chill. David 32817, 268 hours. Regretfully, I think I may have upset him when we were having a conversation about wards, and I haven't seen him since. But he's actually a really cool guy, and so if I let him down, I do regret that. But just a really really awesome guy, fun to play with. It was actually the first time I played with somebody like gadget support, and we fucking wrecked shit. It was a lot of fun. Divine Justice actually is canceling his sub. He spent 15.3 hours. Will Trick Ya, a very recent sub, 15.8 hours. And he subbed to the channel last week, so I do appreciate that. Lord Farquaad has actually helped me with some of my carry builds. This dude is really, really good. He's a very, very good ADC. He's good at Paragon. Really chill guy. 93 hours. R-Dog, 225.7 hours. She started watching the channel October 19th, if that gives you an idea of like just the incredible amount of viewership that she's given up to this point. And again, she is a sub. Six the Prince, 129.9 hours, was a relatively fast sub, so I do appreciate that. He is canceling due to some financial issues. The Red Shelly, 71.2 hours. Again, I have to thank Ash because Ash introduced her to the channel, so that was very nice of him. And I got to play a game with her, and it was dire. That shit was dire, and but we like hustled through it and we got the victory. And I was like, this girl will never ever watch the channel again. And we sucked it up and we pulled it out. So it was great. Doval, super nice guy. His grandson was just born last week or the week before. 57.3 hours. Tunes in all the way from Japan. Great guy. Selfless, 187.1 hours. Selfless and I have gone back and forth for a while. We lost a lot of games together, but he's had patience, and we have been fortunate enough to get some victories as well. Just really chill guy, and a love-hate relationship with Murdoch. Shui has only spent 18.2 hours and actually is going to cancel his sub, but I still thank him for that contribution at one point. Yo Fonz, 49.4 hours. Really awesome guy. Joined the channel November 28th. So I guess that would have been right around Winterfest. And has hung out with us nightly. Super chill guy. Engages in chat. And I do appreciate him. Strain, 93.1 hours. Bronze level sub. Joined the 29th of November. You're talking 100 hours basically in less than a month. I mean, that's amazing. Palin, much better player than I am. 53.8 hours. Sub to the channel, helps me a ton, gives me perspective. When I'm complaining about something, he tells me like, "Hey, it's you, bro, not the other person." So I appreciate that. Lord Revis, we actually haven't seen Revis in a while. Spent about 3 hours with us, but he's has not canceled. Hopefully he's well, and we'll be seeing him again soon. And then now I'm just going to kind of rattle off some names. These are, anybody that's been in the channel for at least 100 hours. So I want to say thank you to you individually. So thank you, APB. Thank you, Swipe55, Scuba. Thank you, Teak Rose, Pixel Punch, Dreve. Dreve was a long time sub and just had to move back to China. And so he will be back, but it'll be much later in 2017. Thank you to Ripdoc, which tunes in all the way from Great Britain. And actually, we need to thank Mud and Dragon for introducing us to Ripdoc, which we do appreciate. Gasgura, 280 hours. Amazing. Nightfall, 262 hours. Clown, 259 hours. Pro Rookie MC, 247 hours. Twin Cannon, 243 hours. Brown Eyed Girl, 222 hours. Thank you so much, BEG. I appreciate that. Thank you. Kexwell, 225 hours. The Killer, 221 hours. Warden, 218 hours. Raven X44, 215 hours. Chaos, which we have not seen in a very long time, and unfortunately is somebody that I regret to have lost when we made the move from Counter-Strike. Spent 215 hours with us. Villas, 209 hours. Revo, 202 hours. Lord G, 198 hours. Panic Wolf, 191 hours. Barbados Clemens, 186 hours. BNM, 179 hours. Flick TV, 174 hours. Shiro, 173. Chaos Kaiser, 169. Alki, which is one of my TOU brethren, 168 hours. Briz, 168 hours. Omega Loser, 153 hours. Barely Creative, otherwise known as Barley, 149 hours. Boosted Hyundai, 149 hours. Virulent Ghost, 137. Cat Lord, 135. The Tire Fryer, 135. Barnaby Jones, 134. Buffoonery, 131. Flacco Cake, 130. Jordy, 128. I'm Rick's Boss, 127. Denial, 123. Ad, 123. Forever the Sickest, 123. Cyrus, 122. We haven't seen Cyrus in a while. I hope he's okay. I'm a Lovely Penguin, 120. JC Do It, 119. Young and somebody else that we haven't seen since Monolith came out, 118. Vader, 117. Dude Streams, 117. J Edgar, 115 hours. Opeth Fan, somebody else we haven't seen since Monolith, 114 hours. Daryl with the double D's, 113 hours. Guyuza, 107. Dastar Dave, 106. Thank you for the follow, Ace Man. I appreciate that. Turkey Boy, 106 hours. Dread, 104. Finny Licious, 104. Shogun Bear, 100 hours. Everyone else is under 100, but I still thank you guys very much. But if I continue on here, we'll probably lose everyone. We've probably lost a ton of people as is. But so I did, again, part of this was a viewer commemoration. I just wanted to say thank you guys, because at the end of the day, this is really what's giving me the motivation to forge ahead, at least until that goal that we set of June 27th. So thank you guys so much. I know the chat's been popping off, so I do apologize, because I've not been on top of chat, but I did want to say thank you, and on an individual basis. I think that's important. We do roll call and we say what's up and whatever, but I wanted to say thank you specifically for what each person has done to the channel and what you've meant to me, and to the channel and I. So thank you very much. Anyway, so that's that. Hopefully we don't lose a bunch of people on the back of all this information. And hopefully we can continue to grow. But if we can't, that's okay too. I think it's been worth it up to this point. Holy shit, Senna.